Hello friends, welcome. BigDenoPlays, Earthborne Rangers, episode day 5? Day 5 already. Let me check. Day 5, excellent. We've continued our journeys. We're currently dealing with a flood in the valley. We've picked up some reward cards, even though we would love to include them. We can't because they have a focus requirement that we do not meet, which is a shame, but we'll make do. Our current mission is to try and stop the floods that's happening over here on White Sky, Golden Shore and Kobo's Market. We've successfully cleared Golden Shore. White Sky is our next mission. So we're currently at Mount Dim. We've travelled there by the lake. So we'll build the path deck and that will be all. So valley set. We have no special notes to read at the start of the day. 1, 2, 3. We have these flood cards here, but these specifically aren't included in this location. It's only at White Sky and Kobo's Market. So wonderful. Mount Nim, we've read that before. Mount Nim says it overlooks the mountain. We can pick up specific locations if we do a thing there. Let's have a look. Climbing the spurs of Mount Nim is tiring work. A brisk wind chills your skin. We can see the ground drop over the emerald Vedessa below. Lead Ranger, draw 2 path cards, choose one to put into play. If one has ambush, you must choose this card. So the romping Lutrinal comes into play, and that giant avian creature does not come into play. How very fortunate for us. Here, we do actually have to deal our starting cards. And then we flip that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep the hawk, keep that, keep that. Keep that. Actually, maybe we don't keep that. Because we want to actually clear things. Sky Whip's good. No, we'll keep that. 2 more. Strider and Compassionate. Perfection. Perfection. So that's there. Here is this. Done. So to start the day, we draw a path card. We have a Lutrinal Holt, which is a feature. And it sits here. Okay, so the romping Lutrinal fatigued us. Perfect start. So I think we will start by playing Scene Through Cycles and clearing this romping Lutrinal. It's not the most effective use of our first glint, but if we can pull someone interesting out, who is in here? Uravos, the Fundamentalist. Maybe we bring Uravos into play. She's looking for Quizzy. Oh, that does not go away, that goes there. Quizzy, what have you been doing, Quizzy? Let's read Ura's entry. Uravos. Traveller. Quizzy Voss is not into play, 81.1. Excuse me, my name's Ura. I'm looking for my daughter. Have you seen her? About this tall, green tunic, asks a lot of questions, eats a lot of biscuits. You mentioned that you haven't seen her and she throws up her hands. She was supposed to meet me at the ranger station hours ago. Can you help me find her? We can clear her with progress. So I think we're going to spend our 2 fitness. Do we take 2 fatigue at this stage? Yeah, we'll spend 2 fitness and this strider to interact with Mount Nim. And we flip a 0. We have a mountain token, so we add a raining token to the downpour. Exhaust this feature. Put a romping latrinal into play. Do we search the deck? Part deck and discard. We'll just put it in there. Ambushes is again. And we also have to fatigue 2. Alright. Suboptimal. We'll play 2 awareness to put our Sparrowhawk into play, and she will tap the romping latrinal for a harm. We will exhaust our roll to bring Seen Through Cycles back into hand. I don't think we'll remember our ranger training. I don't think we will do Ura. No. Okay. So we're going to rest. We're going to recover that. We're going to draw a ranger card. It's the vaulting rod. Ooh, that's actually pretty good. That unexhausts. And we will draw a new path card. It is Tidewater Muckets. Good. They do nothing but get eaten. Okay, so the Sparrowhawk is going to exhaust and stop the romping latrinal. We have enough progress on the location to leave, but we don't want to leave just yet. First, we would like to bring the vaulting rod into play for 1. And that has 2 vaults. And then we will connect with... Do we exhaust that just in case we flip another mountain so that we don't put a romping latrinal into play? We probably do. Yep, and we'll connect with Ura. We'll spend our 2. We'll flip this 1. It's a -1. But we succeed in connecting with Ura. Mountains appear. Another token on the weather. This doesn't trigger. There is no active predator. So we just go read Ura's story. We've helped her find Quizzy. Or we haven't, but she's probably going to ask us if we would like to help her clear her with progress. You offer to help, and Ura smiles gratefully. Thank you so much. I've been tracking Quizzy for hours. I think I know where she's going, but somehow the little trailblazer is always 1 step ahead of me. Maybe you can help. Rangers choose, remove all progress and attach the helping hand mission to Ura. Or not today. Discard Ura and each ranger soothes 2 fatigue. I am probably of the perspective that the fatigue is better at this instance, rather than trying to do another mission that we are already quite heavily invested in. So we will soothe 2 fatigue. Ura will clear with progress, and because of our Mount Nim progress that we have on it, we will travel over to White Sky. So this is our cards in hand. Is there anything else we want to do? Not at this stage. No. Okay. So it's travel time. Umbra. That's really not great. The Fundamentalist. All right. So there is all of our water cards. Those go back into the Valley deck. And we are going to pull the cards from White Sky. And the Mountain deck. Because as you can see from the map, we are traveling from Mountain to White Sky to here. So we will need to read this time the section from 105 because it is a mission at White Sky. The wind has been rising steadily and is now blowing the rain in huge sheets across the lake. Swelling tributary streams threaten to overtake the shoreline. Animals and villagers flee to safety lest they be caught in the flood. Continue reading. Divert the flood. So we've had 1 day. So we attach the 2 flood cards. No. We shuffle 1 into the path deck, which is here. We are no longer at Mount Nim. We are in fact at White Sky. The beautiful White Sky. Okay. So the lead ranger draws a path card. What happens if there are no cards to attach to the flood? That's interesting, since I've just drawn a second flood. 106. If you're on the washed away, no. Check off the bubble matching your current location next to the rising waters on the campaign tracker. Then record the name of the current location followed by flooded. Oh dear. That's a very unfortunate turn of events. What does it say? Discard it? End the day? That's rough. I'm just going to shuffle that in. Artel's been flooded. Well, at least we know what happens if we don't rescue them. Artel, tell us about your fishing at the moment, mate. I'm sure that's not intended to be how it occurs, but it did. We have found the perfect fishing spot. So we go to 48.2. Catch sight of Artel perched on a rock just offshore, staring at the ripples where a fishing line sits undisturbed amid the gentle waves. Okay, buddy. I don't suppose you're going on your golden shore again. We're not. We're trying to rescue everyone in the flood, mate, so you're one of those people. All right, and White Sky is flooded, so we will draw another path card. Fractal wire, it's an obstacle. Oh dear. So focus plus conflict to smash the fractal wire. Ooh, and it can add harm to each being within reach. Okay, so we need to have a think here. We've used our fishing rod. I think we may be exhausting that fractal wire and connecting with Artel. So we're going to connect with Artel. Yeah, we're going to use our vaulting rod, boom, to exhaust that. We'll connect with Artel using this. That is a success. So it's significantly successful. We clear Artel with the flood. Do we wish to I was just thinking about that spot on the Golden Shore you showed me. Best fishing I've had in years. If you're headed that way, mind if I tag along? I'm afraid I can't give you anything for it, but would certainly welcome the opportunity. No safer place than by the side of a ranger. We will not help him. So we'll soothe the fatigue. Another Sky Whip. And then when this card enters play or its attached card leaves play, attach it to the feature or being with the highest presence that doesn't already have a flood attached. So it's the Fractal Wire attached, which now means that's exhausted. Very good. And that is all. So I think our best play now is just to... so that's done. We will tap our Ranger roll to take Throng of Life back into hand. I think we'll put the Vaulting Rod back into play at 1 fitness. And then I think we will discard Seen Through Cycles and our single red to traverse over here at White Sky. Well, that's a very successful turn of events. We gain a glint. We gain +1 fitness, so we now have 3 progress over here. The sunlight triggers. We discard a rain. We suffer a fatigue. And there's no other sunlights in play. So the glint helps a lot. So we can leave here at any time. We don't want to. We don't want to. We might scout the path deck with Riri, our Sparrowhawk, for 3. And we will survey the way ahead. So our effort check is awareness +1, so we're scouting 4 cards. Excellent. We are adding a token to the weather. So what we're looking for here is the Spiderline Stanchion. We will discard all of those things. They're all bad. And then draw 1 path card. Vera! Hello, Vera. So we might have just picked up something very helpful here. Vera. Spirit plus empathy, connection, asks for guidance to discard a water obstacle and add 3 progress to Vera. We can discard that. We might have just successfully completed White Sky. Let's have a look. We're going to end our turn. So we're going to gain all of our stuff back. I'm going to draw one of these. Eagle Eye, that's good too. We draw one of these. The Bubble. Let's read about Vera and the Bubble. Vera Lake Guide. We do not have Biscuit Basket equipped. We have not saved Vera. So 49.3. I'm Vera. I make supply runs all over the lake. You know, if you need to ride somewhere around White Sky, I can take you. Just make sure you're ready to go when you call on me. Very good. And the Bubble, 50. This guy's standing on the edge of the water, watching the Bubble, fishing. Solaro Marco, the archaeologist, is down. We just helped him. Actually, you know what's great? We brought him from the fractured wall. We brought him from here over to White Sky. So we can have a look at White Sky. That's great. And now he's gone in the Bubble. Oh, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. All right. So we can exhaust the Fractal Wire, but instead what we want to do is we want to connect with Vera. We're going to spend 2 Spirit, and we're going to connect with Vera. We need a 3 to succeed at this, but we do have Throng of Life in hand that we can play. So we should be able to pull a +1 from this by using our glint to pay for this. So let's see what we get. We don't even need to use the glint. We get +1 on that anyway and just raw dog it. How good is that? It's the best. Okay, so ask for guidance to discard a water obstacle and add 3 to Vera. When a card with flood attached is cleared, place 1 on it. Well, I'm not sure the exact timing of events here, right? But it says when a card with a flood attached is cleared, place 1 progress on this mission, and then shuffle the flood into the path deck. So we've just put that here. That should have been put in the path deck. Anyway, that's going here, and it's attached to this, and then it automatically clears. So we're not going to leave Vera. We're at 2, and so the flood goes back in here. Okay. So Vera's going to offer to take us to somewhere, Golden Shore and stuff, but I think we'll soothe the fatigue out of her. Let's see what she says. Vera Lake Guide. Go to 49.5. You ready? If you choose not to travel, discard Vera. Oh, that's a shame. We don't get any free fatigue. So we do not want to bring the thing into play. All right. Well, kill the Sparrowhawk, can't we? Question for those playing at home. Here is Riri the Sparrowhawk. She has a 1 harm requirement. She's friendly, persistent and unique. Her special ability is you can exhaust her to add 1 harm to a being in the same area as this companion. Is Riri the Sparrowhawk a being in the same area as herself? And if so, can she peck her own eyes out to clear due to harm? That's a very gamey interpretation. I don't think we're going to do that. Let's search the path deck for stuff that we can look at here. So it's 3. We're adding a token to the weather. And we will look at 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. We've found 2 floods and agitated meadowlarks. Well, this is fine. We're going to put the agitated meadowlarks on the top. We're going to leave both floods there. That draws out. That's there. We'll rest. We gain all of our stuff back. The path card is we draw the flood. This goes here. Riri the Sparrowhawk will then chomp these meadowlarks to clear that flood, which then adds our 3rd token to this. So we will read 107. Good work. Actually, we should put the 2nd flood down here. Actually, it doesn't matter because that gets shuffled back into the deck. What are we looking for? 107. With some quick thinking and a lot of backbreaking work, you managed to redirect the worst of the flood waters and save what you can. Thanks to your efforts, this location is through the worst of it. Check off the bubble matching your current location next to rising waters and remove all progress. That is it. We need to go make our way down to Kobo's Market, and hopefully when we're there, we can do exactly what we just did. I didn't use my ranger ability, so I'll pull that back into hand. We still have a vault. We still have 2 vaults on the vaulting rod. We haven't used it at all yet. So, I think our best play, now that we've rested again, is to use the Sparrowhawk. Eagle Eye. Eagle Eye is more reliable and does not require anything. Let's actually play the reverb locket. No, we can't because that's one. Yep, Eagle Eye, 1. We scout 3 path cards. We're looking for the Spiderline Stanchion. None of those, we'll put them to the bottom. Oops. And then we'll draw 1 card. That was on the bottom. It's a circling Irex. It's not good. It's not good. I can travel away at any time. I should just scare this guy off and run along to the next place, boulder field, and then try and get to Kobo's Market. But if we use the Spiderline Stanchion, we can travel there straight away. I just don't think it's worth the risk though. So we are going to use Seen Through Cycles. Actually, I think we'll force him to run away. That will scare him off with our Sky Whip, which we will then bring back into hand using this ability. And these, we need to succeed with a -1 or better. It's a 0, so he gets put back on top of the deck. We will travel, because we have the 3 progress over here. Let's have a look. We're going to travel to Boulder Field. So I will go set that up. So I just looked at the deck. Guess what card was on top of the deck? For those playing at home, it was the Spiderline Stanchion. Not at all frustrating. At least we're travelling through some lovely grasslands. There's no real threats in the grasslands other than some... What's that big dude called? I can't remember. The one who eats our face. That's great play by me before. We're full. Did I draw a new card? I did not draw a new card. Another Sparrowhawk. So we're at a new location. I don't think I've ever been to this location. Boulder Field, cool. Here it is. Awesome, Boulder Field. Arrival setup number 14. Long ago, a great mountain once stood here, but as the millenniums passed, it steadily split and crumbled. At the edges of the boulder field, the ground is littered with round rocks the size of apples. As you head deeper in, however, the boulders grow larger until you find yourself weaving between what you imagine to be the bones of the lost mountain, pillars of rock that reach towards the sky. Arrival setup. Draw 1 challenge card. It is a sunlight. Do the following based on the challenge icon. Scout 2 path cards and then draw 1 path card. Cool. Reduce the presence of all beings in play by 1. So we're scouting 2, 1, 2. Sitkabuk, Sitkabuk. We'll put 1 on the bottom and we'll draw the Sitkabuk into play. Actually, we're probably better off with just Sitkabuk so they can chomp each other's faces. Great. They'll just rampage each other. Okay. I would like to exhaust a Sitkabuk using our awareness and avoid check. So we'll spend 2 awareness and we will attempt to avoid it. We successfully avoid it. We add another token to the weather. So we exhaust this Sitkabuk. If there is an active predator, there is not. Oh, reduce the presence of all beings in play by 1. Okay, these are both beings. I retract my comment because I'm just going to traverse. So it's going to be a bad traverse, but we're 1-2. And I could spend my throng to turn it into a 4, which I will. So let me just step you through that. Beings in play have their presence reduced by 1. Both of these are presence 0. So that means I can interact with boulder field because these guys have been hidden behind the boulders, no doubt. I can't see them and they can't see me. So I don't take any fatigue for interacting here. I will do a traverse check, which is 2 fitness, plus I'll discard Riri, which is 3. And then, even though we flipped a -1, we will use our Throng of Life to select this focus, which means we will add 1 token to the weather. I don't know if I did that, I'll do it anyway. And I will have both of these Sitka bucks charge me if there is an active Sitka doe, which there is not. We have 4 progress on that. We will travel straight away. Good work, good work. Boulder Field, it was nice to see you today. You look lovely. Look forward to coming to visit you at some time again soon. However, we are going to immediately travel down to Kobo's Market and see if we can finish this mission. Alright, however, this is a new set, which is cool. So this is yellow. What is yellow? Grasslands. Excellent, I haven't seen grasslands before. Non-pivotal location, so we will shuffle this deck. 1, 2, 3. Put these in here. I'm so excited, I haven't seen any of these cards. And then we will go and read section number 16. Kobo's Market. Spirit Speaker Gnarl is not in play. Kobo's Market is not flooded yet. Given Ren Kobo's Messapian heritage, it's not surprising that he set up his market next to a clear, spring-fed lake. You see the market bathed in sunlight, bursting with wares from both inside and outside the valley. You hear the joyful chatter of bartering customers and merchants as you approach. You fools! It's flooding! Search the path deck for the next feature and put it into play. A morning route. That also has a flood attached to it. So that's yummy. Okay, so we are done. We've ended the day. Did we draw a card when we ended the day? We did not. Our iron wool boots. Very good. And then we will draw a card. It's a harvester anthill. What is that? What are these things? Okay, so we need to clear this flood. Let's do it. We will start with we can haggle. Okay, so I'm going to use my vaulting rod and I'm going to exhaust it to exhaust this morning route. Then I'm going to use a single fitness test with that, and I will flip a -1, which still succeeds, so I will suffer a fatigue to soothe 3 fatigue. 1, 2, 3. Very nice, very nice. Sunlight triggers, discard 1 rain, suffer a fatigue. If there is 1 or more on this feature, there is not, and that's exhausted. So now I can just do that again, which will clear the flooded morning route. We'll do that, spend that, flip that, we clear, we add another rain token. There is not an angry, hungry scroff. So the morning route, we suffer a fatigue and we recover fatigue. Very, very good. That is discarded. The flood is shuffled back into the path deck. 2 to go. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Okay, we have a lot of cards in hand, which is very, very good. Eagle Eye is excellent. This is exhausted, so we can't use this. We have this. I think we'll use that to bring Throng of Life back into hand. Seen through cycle, shape the earth. Yeah. Alright, we will play Eagle Eye. 1, 2, 3. And we will flip over Anthill, Ren Kobo, and a morning route. Do we want to bring Ren Kobo into play? He's a human villager. Is this his market? It's called Kobo's Market. Is this your market, buddy? Yeah, let's bring Ren Kobo into play. What a nice guy he seems like. In you come, Ren Kobo. I don't know why I just shuffled that, but it's done now. Ren Kobo. If we're at his market and the first time we've drawn him out is literally at his market, I'm just going to say I love this game. Where is he? Ren Kobo. What number are you, Ren? 83. Enters play. The man's broad face has been weathered by the years of strong wind, and his eyes are surrounded by a forest of wrinkles from a lifetime of squinting in the sun. He pulls his hand out of his pocket of the long coat and thrusts it forward. He speaks with the drawl of the Messipian seafolk. Ren Kobo's the name, he says. Travelling merchant and master of commerce of the Sunray Flotilla. At your service. Perhaps you'd like to make a trade. If not, we can simply share the road. I see we're travelling in the same direction. Ren, we're travelling in the same direction to your market to clear the fucking flood happening there, champion. Help a brother out. Okay, we can't do Sky Whip. Alright, we've got lots and lots and lots of options here. Let's do another awareness check. We'll discard our seen through cycles. We're going to spend these 2, so we have a total effort of 3. We're going to flip this. So it's a total of 2, but we have a mountain. We add another token to the weather. So we can look up 2 cards. We're looking for a flood card here. 1, 2. We have no... Whoa, look at that guy. He's a predator. Look at him. Oh, that's awesome. If there's no active prey and the Whispering Fields is in play... Well, he's running away, so that's fine. And we draw the flood. It's glorious. So Ren Kobo has now been flooded. It's our job to rescue him. If only we had some way to connect with you, Ren. Oh my god, we've got an awful hand for connections. We do not have a single heart. I feel like my deck has not been very good. There's also a +1 in play there as well. That's not ideal. Well, we're definitely going to connect with him using Throng of Life and spending these 2. And, -1. There is not an active predator. There is not more flood tokens. So we're just going to add 2 progress to Ren Kobo. 1, 2. Do we want to do anything else with our focus? No, we will pull all this back. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 2, our Artel's vaulting rod will come back. I'm pretty sure I used that, so we're fine. We will bring a card into play. It is another Harvester Anthill. And we draw a card. It's Thorough. I'd really like to play Shape the Earth, because that would get some stuff on there, but no, let's do it. Let's do another connection test. We'll bring Throng of Life back into hand. We'll discard it to get another +3 effort connection check. It's a 0, so we succeed. We have cleared Ren Kobo, so we'll go read him. We return the Flood to here. 2 down, 1 to go. And let's read about Ren Kobo, who's just been cleared thanks to progress. 83.2. Trade, you say? Ren sweeps out his hands. Well, of course you do. I've been from the Messapian Sea to the fortresses of the Ice Clans, and I've even laid eyes on the Great Ocean, if you can believe it. And I have something from everywhere I've visited. He goes to the wagons and starts pulling out items. Now, let's see if I can find something to tickle your fancy. So we can return a gear from their hand to the collection. They can choose a starting gear card they meet the stat requirement for and do that. So I did actually get to talk to that other dude up at Thingy, Northern Outpost. So I actually pulled out the iron wool boots and I put in this trail mix. So I think I'm probably going to do that. This reverb locket is proving difficult to include. But maybe this Stave of the Sun is the key. So I'm going to pull that out of my deck and I'm going to put another card in there because it starts with stuff. So I don't need that. I'll figure out what card I put in there soon. It did specifically say a gear card, didn't it? A gear from their hand. Then they choose a starting gear card from the collection they meet the stat requirement for and add it. So I want to try and add a green gear card because what I've found is I'm using gear cards, a lot of gear cards that have low focus requirements and what have you. Okay, thank you, Ren. You've been lovely. Do we have an eagle eye? We do not. Let's survey the land ahead. Geez, if we get into a conflict here, we're fine. 3 effort using our Sparrowhawk to scout the path deck. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we need to flip this, I should say. There's a glint. We're only scouting 1. So we put a glint back. We're scouting 1. We're discarding one of these from here, which gives us a fatigue. There is no progress on this. And it's the Whispering Fields. When you would draw a path card. Yeah, I'm definitely not having that come into play. So we're going to draw a card, and it is the Bloodbeck Velox. He's ambushing us for 2. 1, 2. Oh no, we're going to run close. Oh, we need to find that friggin' thing shortly. If a ranger is injured, this being gains disconnected. We are not injured. If there is no active prey and the Whispering Field is play, no. If a ranger is injured, exhaust this being, no. Okay. So he comes into play along the way. So we can just probably sky whip him out of here, I think. Just need 3 harm. Yep, we're going to shuffle this deck again. Jeez. What we really need to see is another flood because that's going to clear him straight away. Seen through cycles potentially. We can't interact with that. Do we use our glint? Okay, here's what we'll do. We'll shape the earth, spending this 2 and using our glint to put 3 progress onto Kobo's market because 1 goes here, 1 goes here, 1 goes here, and then we can move it all to there. So that's fine. That's done. We played a moment, but we don't have our iron wool boots on. We will not do anything else. So we will rest. It's going to recover all of our energy. I did not use my thing this turn, so I will bring... I will bring Throng of Life back into hand. We just need to see a flood card. Calypsa! She's helping Cal Ivor. Okay. Well, did we draw a card as well? We draw a card. It's versatile. That's very good. So we did put a harm on him, so we've rested. Everything's come back into play. The Sparrowhawk will attack him again. And we need to find a flood card to attach. So we will find a flood card. We'll play Seen Through Cycles as an icon. 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. Nope, it's not that. It's the Reverb Locket icon. No, it's not that. It is Seen Through Cycles. It's Survey. So we're looking for... We've got 4 cards that we're looking for here. So we'll flip this down to 3. Add a weather token. There is not an active Hungry Scroff. That is not the case. We add 1 to a path card as Calypsa lends you a hand. I guess we'll just put it on the Blood Beckoned Velox. So 1, 2, 3 of these we look at. If one's a flood, oh, little antelope, flood, Hungry Scroff. We'll put the flood on top. We'll draw the flood. We'll attach it to this blood. Now we'll attach it to Calypsa. Let's try and save Calypsa. We'll connect with Calypsa. We'll play these 2. We'll spend these 2. We flip a +1. Yes. Okay, so we're going to do it in order because this is relevant. That's a predator. So the first thing that happens is we clear her with progress. So let's go and read Calypsa's story. We've saved you. We go to 85.3. She enters play. She's been discussing some lessons with Cal. Let's go to 85.3. We will not do this challenge today. We will instead soothe 2 fatigue. And Calypsa is now discarded. She is cleared from progress. So this flood goes away and we have completed the mission. 107. You've done it! The floodwaters have been diverted and you've saved the area around White Sky Lake from the worst of it. You decide to take a much needed nap only to wake to an impromptu party. A number of the locals have gathered with food and drink and you end up spending most of the afternoon celebrating. Your revelry is interrupted when a man comes up to you and breathlessly says, "You need to come and see this." Complete the Rising Waters mission. Return all flood cards to the path deck, discard and play area to your collection. Each ranger soothes 2 fatigue. It's a fatigue-a-thon. And then read 107A. You follow the man to a small crowd of people gathered by a wide, dark tangle of fallen trees, murmuring to one another in low tones. Calypsa and Cal Ivor are there as well, speaking quietly to one another. I know, we just talked to them. Among the debris there is a startling sight. Dozens of strange corpses deposited here by the flood. The corpses are battered, broken and caked in filth. But they are all clearly one species, a biomeld, and unlike anything any of you have ever seen before. You see pale flesh, eyeless faces, and long limbs ending in claws. Calypsa approaches you with a haunted look on her face. Cal and I are going to help clean up this mess. What are they? And where did they come from? She places her hand on your shoulder. Bring word of this to Elder Orlin in Spire. If anyone knows what these things are, it's her. Travel to Spire within the next 4 days to speak with Elder Orlin. Record 94.3 4 days from now on the campaign tracker. At 1, 2, 3, 4, 94.3. So Don't think we have to do that one. We've done Rising Waters. Wow, that was very cool. So let's, what do we got to do? We're going to get one more path card onto the, one more thing to travel. Missions. Travel to Spire. Was it a journey mission? Did it say journey? Yes, it did. So journey to Spire. Okay. All right, we just need one more progress on the path deck, or on the location. Getting fatigued doesn't really bother us. We just don't have any of these things, so that's our discard pile doofus. We can't, well, we can Skyward because you need to spend at least one. Thorough, we can't avoid him. Yeah, I guess we'll just actually traverse, spend that. So that's 1, 2, 3 traverse. We'll take 2 fatigue from the Bloodbeck and Velox. We flip that. No range is injured. We gain our glint back. And we can travel from Kobo's Market down here to Spire. And I think, what does it say we have to do? We have to get to Spire. Okay, we're just going to do that now then. We can just travel there right now. See if we can complete this journey mission in 4 days. You must venture to a specific location. We'll keep these all in hand. We'll put this here, we'll put this here, we'll put this here. I'm actually gonna, yeah, we'll keep the vaulting rod in play. This gets shuffled. And we will travel to Spire. That was a cool location. I am worried about those little guys. And that Bloodbeck and Velox, he was awesome. 6 rainfalls on there. Draw a card. Boom. Strider. And Spire. Cool. All right, this is another lakeshore location. And Spire is actually pivotal, and so it has some cool things. Great. We made it. Good job, everyone. We managed to travel the one location that we needed to travel to complete this mission. So let's arrive at the attached location and read 1.50. Journey. If arriving at the Spire, go to 1.08. Complete the Journey Spire mission. Good work, team. At the end of your travels, the tower at the centre of the Spire has never looked more welcoming. You couldn't shake the haunted look on Calypso's face when she saw those corpses, and ever since that day, you felt a presence like a patient predator lurking in the underbrush, hounding your every step. Gain the Watcher in the Brush mission. Cool. There it is. Add the mysterious Videssian to the path deck. Clear the mysterious Videssian with progress. So I'm going to assume that the mysterious Videssian is in the path cards general. And I am correct. Oh my god, look at that guy. How cool is he? Look at him. He looks sick. I don't know what he is. Anyway, great. So that's from the Watcher in the Brush mission. Path deck assembly, add the mysterious Verdessian to the path deck. Okay. So our path deck, I'll come back to in a second. But, good. Okay. As you cross the bridge in the centre of town, Ben Armon, the pilot of the Swift and master artificer, joins you. Hello there. Elder Thrush asked that I come to Spire to check on the hydroelectric turbines, just in case they suffered any damage during the flood. What brings you here? You explain what brought you here, and his smile fades. Without delay, he accompanies you to see Elder Orlin. You find Elder Mora Orlin in the heart of the carbon forge, bent over an air lathe with a heavy piece of carbon in her powerful hands. When she sees you, she shuts off the howling machine and straightens. What is it? She growls. Her flinty stare never wavers as you describe the strange beings with eyeless faces and dangerous-looking claws. When you finish, she grunts and nods to you and Ben Armon. My mother told me about these. When we first came over the passes in the valley, our people encountered beings like the ones you described. Vicious biomelds. They called them reclaimers. You ask, why reclaimers? I'm not certain, but they are biomelds like the caustic mulcher and the toxin eater, and like all biomelds, they serve an ancient purpose. Perhaps they are compelled to capture something they perceive to be lost, or they search for some possession they believe to be theirs. The best way to discover the answer is to find them and observe their behavior. When you head out into the valley, keep your eyes open. If you find reclaimers, see what you can learn about them. Ben Armon clears his throat. Elder Erlin, searching the valley could take weeks. If we want to know where they are, I can set up a scanning rig. We just need to place a few relays around the valley and I can sweep for these reclaimers. Elder Orlin shakes her head and gives Ben a bemused look. Sensors? Always sensors. We have all the sensors we need right here. She taps her chest. And here. She taps her temple. Use your instinct. Use your intellect. And you'll find them. Ben doesn't waver. Elder, it's a big valley. If we don't send some sort of help, they could hike within half a mile of a swarm of these things and never know it. What do you think? Do you want to spend a few weeks searching the valley for these things, or discover exactly where they are in just a few days? Look, I'm all about technology. Let's make life easier. So we will agree with Ben Armon. We gained the sensor network mission. Cool. The faster you find out if the reclaimers in the valley are in the valley, the better. Elder Orlin grunts and turns back to her air lathe. After you leave, Ben takes you to the Hearty Brew, the best tavern in town. There you find his pincrawler parked in a courtyard. He opens the back hatch, revealing a store of parts and electric components, along with a folding workbench. He sets to work crafting something, and when you ask what he's doing, he distractedly mutters that you should think about getting some food. By the time you've finished eating and return, you see a bundle of steaks about 1 metre long, each topped with a globe crisscrossed with complex circuit inlays. These are relay scanners, Ben explains proudly. Set them up across the valley, and they should generate a field that will pick up any biomeld activity. If there's a swarm of reclaimers out there, we'll see it. Just be sure to spread out the sensors as far as possible. Opposite ends of the valley would be best. When you stick them in the ground, just whistle this tune. He blows 3 notes, and the relay goes active. Ben hands you a glass disc and a smooth wooden frame. Once all 3 are active, this will send the results to the biological outpost south of Branch. But you can see what they pick up with this. Gain the sensor network mission. Cool. Sensor network. I agree with Ben. It was the right thing to do. Sensor network. Okay, so I think we've concluded the spire. So we are at the spire. So I think we are going to end the day, but just so we're set up for next time, this is cool. You do not add the spire set to the path deck. You shuffle it separately and set it face down. This is the spire deck. So this can be the spire deck. Boom. The lead ranger draws a path card. We've added that little flower man to here. Boom, boom. The location says we draw a path card, and we can move to this location and draw one card from the spire deck. Huh. So we can move into the city and spend time in the city. Very cool, very cool. So we're going to start a new day. We are going to have these missions, and I'll have a look at those. That's going to bring to a close this episode. We did well that episode. I am going to change my Stave of the Sun that we managed to clear out for someone else's card. I don't know what yet, but it'll probably be something, item that feels cool. We've completed the journey to Spire. Good. I'm getting quite into this now, I have to tell you. It's pretty fun. It's cool to have all these things happening. Yeah. Excellent. Well, that's it for this episode of BigDenoPlays Earthborne Rangers. I'll be back for day 6 at some point soon. Look forward to catching you all then. BigDeno out.